Manifestation has become this buzzword, right? It's one of those things where you want it and you get it, whether that is the career, whether that is the partner, whether that is the car, the body, anything that you want, you got it. And it feels so hard because so many people don't understand what manifestation is and they don't have the formula for them to use to actually manifest the things that they want. And so that's exactly what we are going to talk about today. And we're going to get into the same formula that I use with myself and clients to manifest what it is that you truly desire. For those who don't know me, I am Imani Adia, mindset coach and transformational speaker, and I'm on a mission to help millions of people transform their lives from the inside out. Now, let's get into manifestation. As I looked over my own life journey, I saw that I had manifested so many things even before I knew what manifestation was. But I had the pieces to the puzzle to allow me to manifest. And one of those times before the personal self discovery journey that I was on when I actually learned about what manifestation was is I manifested going to college on a full ride. Now, some of you all know that I went to UNC, University of North Carolina. It wasn't at the same time as Jordan. I wasn't there during the Jordan era, but I have been in the building as the same time as Jordan. So basically the same thing, right? But as I looked at this journey, I was like, wow, I manifested this for about 3 years. And I think so many times when people think about manifestation, they think that if I manifest today, that means that I will get it tomorrow. When the truth is, you will manifest what it is that you want based off the timeline that you are given in terms of what makes sense for what you are manifesting. And also, right, not only the timeline that you are being given, but also the timeline for the work that you are putting in or would need to put in to get what it is that you desire. And so, as I say that, I knew during my ninth grade year that I wanted to get a full ride to college. We were doing an assignment on where it is that we wanted to go to college during ninth grade. And I realized that college was 50 grand, 60, 70, and I knew that I did not have that type of money to give to an institution each and every year. And so, as I was looking at other avenues for me to be able to go to college and not have to pay as much, I was like, a full ride is the answer. And I knew that I was going to do everything in my power to get a full ride, no matter the way that it came or what it may have looked like. And so during that time, really my 10th and 11th grade year, so for about 2 years, I was actively working towards this goal. And I knew based off what I looked at in ninth grade year that I was looking at going to schools that wanted well-rounded students. So I needed to be a well-rounded student. So I didn't need to have the highest grades, but I still needed to have amazing grades. I didn't need to have to be in a million clubs, but I needed to show that I was dedicated and committed to the clubs that I was a part of, for the sports that I was participating in. And not only did I show that I was committed to those clubs and to those different sports, but I showed that I also had leadership skills and leadership potential. And also making sure that I was actively involved in my community and doing community service and having the hours to create somebody, right, who just wasn't great in one area, but was well rounded in many different areas, but also knew the difference between quality versus quantity. And so, knowing what it is that I wanted, knowing what I needed to do to get there, I focused on making sure that I had the grades, that I was committed to 2 to 3 sports slash clubs, and also making sure that I was active in my community for those 2 years. And I did that continuously. And I knew that it would pan out in my favor. Now, I didn't know exactly how the full ride would come about. And so I was applying to different scholarships, I was applying to schools, I was applying to different programs. And so I didn't know what that would look like. And as I say that, I say my scholarship came from the institution, right? But there was even a time where I was applying for a scholarship program and I was able to get to the second round. And if I was to have gotten the scholarship program, then that means that I would have been able to go to any college and they would have paid for it. And then I know some people, right, who were on their own journeys and they were able to get money from their college, but then they applied to all these other mini scholarships. And I also had mini scholarships, but they also applied to all these other mini slash macro scholarships, I would say, that when you grouped them together, it allowed them not to pay anything. But I knew I was going to college and I was going to leave whatever institution that I went to with $0 owed to the institution, to a bank, to the government. I wasn't paying anything, especially during that time because I believed I was also going to med school. So it's like, oh, that's a double whammy. That's double debt. And I just wasn't dealing with it. What came to be is that I manifested that full ride. And so I had the different pieces of the manifestation formula. Now, this is the same formula that I use with clients, the same formula that I use with myself, which is manifestation equals desire plus action. Everybody has the desire, and a lot of people are missing that action piece. Just as they say, faith without works is dead, manifestation without action is just wishful thinking. You are truly just dreaming and not going anywhere. You're literally sleeping right now. Because if you are not willing to put in the action, to put in the work that it is going to take for you to manifest what it is that you desire, you can call it a day. And so what it is that you need to do, right? If you're saying that I am in a position where I'm manifesting and it feels so hard, I really need you to look at what it is that you desire. And if you look at what you desire and you say, this is something that I actually really want, okay, check mark. We got half the formula together. And I won't even say half, I'll say 5% of the formula together. Because that action piece is 95, 90%, right, of what needs to happen. And so as I think about desire and action, I automatically, right, shift my mind to think about the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And how our conscious mind, I say it all the time, our conscious mind is our goal setter. It tells us what it is that we want, and we are aware of what it is that we want. 95% of our actions happen at the subconscious level. 95% of our daily action happens at the subconscious level. And so what that tells me, right, to make that action piece easier for you is you need to be looking at reprogramming your subconscious so that your actions align with what it is that you truly desire. Because there is a lot of people, right, where your subconscious is linked to programming that does not serve you. It's linked to programming that you never even asked for. And so it is your responsibility, right? Now that you know better, you can do better, to look back at that programming and ask yourself, what beliefs do I hold? And are there any beliefs that are in conflict with this desire that I am manifesting? What values do I hold? And are there any of the values that I have that seem to be in conflict with what it is that I desire? What actions am I taking that seem to be in conflict with getting to where I need to go? When I was manifesting that full ride, my eye was on the prize. I was focused on what it is that I needed to do, but I believed, right, that I could get that full ride. And I valued, right, I valued my grades over going out. I valued showing up even when I didn't feel like it. There were times I didn't want to go to a meeting. I didn't want to run a meeting, but I was going to show up because I knew that it was important to me, and it was important to me getting that end goal, getting to what I wanted, to get to what I desired. Now, another key piece about manifestation is being willing to surrender. It is you being okay with the fact that this manifestation may come and it can look differently from what you thought it was going to look like. It is okay knowing that this manifestation may come at a different time than what you may have expected. Because I truly believe that rejection is protection. I truly believe that what is for you will be for you. And so if you have the desire in that, and then you are taking action, and it doesn't pan out the way that you think that you wanted it to, it doesn't mean that you did anything wrong, right? It just means that maybe that wasn't for you. But it's not so much about having what it is that you desire. It's about showing yourself time and time again that you can have a desire and you can put in the work. It's about the process and being committed to the process and showing to yourself that you will show up for yourself. And the fourth and final thing that I really want to get into about manifestation, and it's the one thing that people really don't talk about enough, that I'm really like, well, that's the reason why you're not manifesting. That's why it feels so hard. Because you will never manifest something that you don't truly believe that you deserve. Which tells me that you have some internal blocks that you need to work through. You have some subconscious programming that you need to rewire and release. But I'm here to tell you right now, you are worthy of everything that you desire. I say it all the time. If you woke up this morning, that means you are worthy. There's not a question about there's no question about worth. You are worthy. And so if you are manifesting and it feels so hard for you, I want you to be very honest with yourself. Do you believe that you deserve what you are manifesting? And if the answer is no, there's some work that needs to be done. So what I hope that you gather is manifestation doesn't have to be hard. It can be done with ease. That doesn't mean that you're not going to be putting in work, because manifestation is about putting in the work. But when you have a desire and when you are putting in the work, when you are taking action that supports that desire and where it is that you want to go, when you believe that you are worthy of what it is that you are manifesting, and when you surrender to the process, that's when the manifestations will happen. And now that you have the keys, go manifest. If you enjoyed this video, make sure that you like, comment, and share with someone else to help them on their own manifestation journey. Until next time, go be limitless.